What's going on, YouTube family? We are back in action. This is live action here. Look, I got a washer in the back of my truck. My number, what am I at? 150 customers, reoccurring customers. You might say, oh, you had 150 last week. Yes, I did. And you might say, oh, you're going to have 150 next week. Yes, I am. But these are 150 reoccurring customers in 8 months. And is it 8 months? October 10th was my first install day. Don't forget that. So you do the math and leave it down in the comments. What am I going to talk about today? Is the business simple? Because does it look simple from the outside? I don't know. Maybe. Some parts are really simple. And some parts surprise me. So, like, people's text messaging skills, or I don't even know what you call them, but anyways. So, yeah, today, what would I do differently? And would I start again? I always thought about that. What if I just start a whole different washer and dryer business? You know, see what happens if I start from zero. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about it. If you guys know me, you know that my craziness is I don't edit videos like this. I just put it out there, hope for the best, and hope you guys enjoy and get something out of it. So, how did I start? I started one machine. I went to Facebook Marketplace and I started buying machines one at a time. If they asked me, I would go and see a set for $300. I'd be like, how about $30? I mean, I like to hustle and I like to get bargains and I like to, you know, find a deal. So they say, oh, $200, you know, how about $50? And then they say yes or they say no. If you're in more than a 20,000 person populated area, you will find washer and dryers on Facebook Marketplace all the time. So just go buy some. It's easy. Or look at this. This washer is free. 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 Guy on Facebook Marketplace had it posted. I went, grabbed it by myself, didn't need any help, and it's in the back of my truck heading to the shop. So you can get machines. Don't worry about getting machines. Now you're like, oh, well, I don't have all this money to spend. I need to spend $8,000 on a machine. No, free. Look at that. I got that for free today, about 10 minutes ago, for free. Then I would say, I mean, that really, there is so many washer and dryers out there that you can get, guys. It's actually ridiculous. It's so easy. So, you know, the highest washer and dryer I've ever paid is $130. 100. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't edit videos. I'm not taking that out. The highest, most expensive set I bought was $230. $230. The lowest was $70. Besides the free ones, I paid $70 for a working set. Tested it in their home and everything. Really nice couple, and I appreciate them. So, but you know, I really didn't have everything figured out. Facebook Marketplace. I've done it for so long. I've sold on Facebook Marketplace, so I have like 6 years in experience on Facebook Marketplace selling. I used to sell cabinets for a living, and so I did that for a while. And anyways, you don't need 50 machines to start. Okay, you need, I would say, 2 sets. One you install, and one is your backup. Okay, you always got to have a backup. When I go do installs, if I go do 4 installs a day, I bring 5 sets with me. I just always have a backup. Okay, let's keep on going here. So, getting customers. How do we get customers? This might be the easiest part. As crazy as that sounds, getting customers might be the easiest part. How is that? Why do you say that? It's not easy getting sales. Yes, it is. People need to wash their clothes. It stinks. Their clothes reek. So they need to go wash their clothes, and they need to have a washer and dryer in their house instead of going to the laundromat. Their washer just broke down. They don't have, $500 to go get another one. So the demand is out there, guys. It is huge. You guys can get leads. I mean, there's so many people that need washers and dryers. It's unbelievable. It's so much bigger than I expected. Marketplace is working for leads. I'm still using Marketplace even after 150 customers. So it works. Keep going. You got this. People really do need washer and dryer rentals. So a lot of people in apartment buildings, a lot of people who can't afford $1,000 set right now, whatever it might be, they need this service. And so this is a huge help. I mean, customers after customers telling me how much they appreciate this service, and it's saved them money depending on what your cost is. If you're charging $50 a month or $75 a month, whether the laundromat is cheaper or not, that kind of all depends. But a lot of times I hear, this is cheaper than going to the laundromat. And what's good for us is we're going to get that reoccurring revenue. So it's going to build up quickly. You guys can do the math, or I can tell you, but 150 customers, reoccurring customers, that's $7,500 in the bank account. If I edited the videos, you would hear that cha-ching right now. So, yeah. Now, is that going into my pocket? No. I mean, some of it. But, somebody said, why are you cutting grass with someone and doing this business? Well, that's a long story, but there's a guy at church. Earlier this year, I told him I could cut grass 2 days a week, and he's just an older guy, and he cuts grass by himself, and he needed help. And he said, you know what, it's a little bit more than I'm asking or willing to pay, but I'm going to do it. And he got, stepped out of his comfort zone and did it, so I'm going to work with him the rest of the year. I made a goal, and I'm going to do that. So, all right, what's next? I got to turn in this spot here and see my buddy. Anyways, okay, so now we are going on to the next thing. Sorry guys, got distracted. Saw a friend. Okay, what was harder than I expected? Okay, let's see. Repairs harder than I expected? I mean, I've owned a washer and dryer, and when my dryer broke, I could not figure out how to fix it, and I looked like an idiot. But repairs, after I learned how to repair a few of them, now, not that it's a piece of cake, but like, there's only so much to them. You can figure it out. Late payments. That is tough. Late payments are hard because there's going to be people all the time out there that their card's blocked. It shows insufficient funds. They text you and say, my daughter had a birthday party and we decided to rent a bounce house instead of pay for the washer and dryer rental. That will happen. That's part of the business. Any business like this, any rental business, if you don't you don't have to pay. Like when you go to the grocery store, you have to pay, then you get your item. Okay. Well, up front we have them pay, but then after that, they can block their cars. So you are going to chase money. That's the hardest part for me. The hardest part of this whole business is to chase the money. But in the cabinet business, we had to chase money too. We had to chase $6,000 checks on like a weekly basis. And so that's normal. There's going to be that all the time. Another harder thing than I expected, like pickups. Pickups are easy if we're going to move them. Keeping inventory, that's all relatively easy. I would say it's the texting, hey, open your card, we gotta run your card, that kind of thing. You're gonna have that with any business out there. So, but you get past it. It all works out. Okay, next. Biggest mistake. What's the biggest mistake you could make doing this business? Now I'm reading these. I have these written down, and they are like people has commented. So if you're having questions, comment down below, and I'll get those in the next video. I kind of took some examples or took some comments of y'all's and put them in this video. So comment down below, guys. Support me in doing this. If you enjoy my content, hit the like button, give me a comment, send me an email. We can get on a Zoom call or something sometime, and I could kind of share basically everything. I'll show you screenshots and videos and all the things that I do to run the business. But let's go back. Biggest mistakes. I'm gonna say your biggest mistake is paying too much for units. You're like, what? That's crazy. There's no way. Yes, you can get units for free. You should not be paying even $100 each unit. You should not be paying $100 for a washer, $100. If you have to pay for $100 washer, that's okay. That should be your max, okay? That was my max. Just if I gotta go buy a bunch, $100 a unit is my max. I like getting them for free. I like getting them for $50. I like getting them for $25. Just get them for as cheap as possible. That's the most important part. Because let's say you have that customer that is like card declined, insufficient funds, they're not answering their phone. Well, if you paid $400 for a set, $500 for a set, $600 for a set, you just lost out on $600. Me, I paid like $100 to $150, maybe $200 all in for a washer and dryer installed. If that customer leaves after 3 months, 4 months, okay, I broke even. Send them to collections and move on. It's that simple. So don't pay too much for the units, guys. Don't think I'm gonna have the best business because I have the best washers and dryers. No, you're gonna have the best business because your cost is the lowest around. That's what you need to go for. Cheap is okay. If you have cheap and they work good, that's what you want. Okay, that's gonna win every single time. The pretty ones, they don't matter. Okay, get some freaking spray paint and paint that thing. You got to keep your investments low, guys. Okay, I don't know how many times how I say it. Maybe you guys will be like, listen, you're saying it wrong. You know, you need to say it like this. Just keep your cost low. Okay. All right, moving on. Repairs. You don't have to be a repair guy. You don't have to be an expert. Okay. You don't have to be Ben's Appliance or whatever it might be. Okay, although Ben is pretty cool. I'll give him that. But literally, I'm telling you, I hated working on washers and dryers, and now I'm like, oh, I got this. You know, this washer here, I got for free. 100% something's wrong with it. I didn't even talk to the guy. I just picked it up. It was laying outside, picked it up, sent him a picture, said, all right, got it, thanks so much. And I'm gonna take it to the shop, check it out, and I know I can fix it. And if it absolutely can't be fixed, I know I can take about $100, $150 worth of parts off and put it in another unit. So, repairs, guys, you got this. Okay, you're gonna learn the common repairs over time. It takes. I mean, I say it takes time. It took me like 2 or 3 weeks, a month max. Okay, you guys got this. You got this. If you know, like, if this washer, if I go there and if there's, you know, if the motor's bad, I don't know. I don't even know what would be worth it. But you just, like, scrap it, okay? I'm going to take the $150 parts out, and I'm like, all right, that's all I needed. And I'm going to throw it away in the scrap, recycle, you know. All right, next question. Can one person do this business? Abso-freaking-lutely, okay? One person can do this business. After it scales, 2 things. You don't want to get burnt out, okay? So yes, you can do this, but you have to be careful. I've been in businesses before. Burnout is a serious thing, and you do not want to do that. So at first, yes. You can buy them, you can clean them, you can deliver, you can install, you can collect payments, you repairs. But eventually you get so many, you're like, okay, I need a little bit of help here, a little bit of help there. You'll know where you want your help. You might not be good with messaging people, so you're gonna have somebody message customers for you. You might, be tired of installing, so you're gonna have a guy go and install for you. But to get started, guys, you can do this. You can do this by yourself. If you have a spouse, you and your wife could go do that. Your wife's going to be mad at me that I said this, okay? But my wife has carried washers and dryers up 3rd stories, okay? I mean, time and time again. She has told me recently she does not want to do that. So, okay, moving on. How much money does it cost to start? Okay, this is a huge thing. Listen, I love whoever I talked to recently. You guys know who you are. The few people that said they're going to go get a huge loan. Guys, don't go get a loan. You don't need a huge loan, okay? I feel like Dave Ramsey over here or something. I don't know if you heard me, but I got this for free. Guys, you don't need a lot of money to start this, okay? Don't do it. Don't bury yourself in debt, okay? If you're going to get a loan, just keep it low. Come on, washers and dryers are so cheap. You don't have to. You can scale this sections at a time. Okay, don't don't go get one. And if you do, don't kill yourself over it. Okay, I use cheap washers and dryers, as cheap as possible. I free washers and dryers, and I say I'm making $7,500. That is going into more washers and dryers, okay? I'm reinvesting that money right back into the business, right back into the help, into any of the tools that I need. Just start with a few and move on to the next one, okay? Get those installed, and then you'll be in good shape. Okay. I did not take out a loan. We just went and cash flowed it. One set at a time. So, if you guys have questions, leave them down in the comments. What you have to remember in your cost, the $7,500 mark, okay, that's gross reoccurring revenue every month, okay? Now, there's some I'm going to send to collections. There's some I'm going to move and close their accounts. But then I'm going to be installing new. So right now, this is kind of good information for you to know. I can keep a steady 150 customers, and I'm installing a few a week, I'm closing a few a week, but it's pretty steady at 150. I got up to 153, I got down to 148, now I'm back at 150 customers, okay? That's not profit. $7,500 is not profit. We have repairs, we have fuel, labor, some storage. I do have a little storage unit in our local town. After I go test them, you've seen the shop. If you haven't looked at the video before, I test the washers and dryers, and then I go take them to the storage unit, and those are all my tested. So the crew can go pick up a washer and dryer in the storage unit, and then go from there. And when I say crew, you act like you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, you have so many employees or whatever. I have 2 older men from my church that are just such a blessing to me, and they work 5 to 8 hours a week, maybe 10 hours combined. They don't work that much, but they're huge. They help me if I need help. They're just a huge part of the business for me. Ways to not get burnt out. Other costs are like insurance. You got to worry about non-payments. People not paying their bills. That's you got to kind of factor that into there. Gas. I drive a truck, and anywhere I go is 40 miles away. So, $150, $200 in gas a week, maybe. Is this business okay? Here's the most important part. If you stayed to the end, you guys are my heroes. I love you. How passive is this business? So this is the exciting part, because I don't know if so my goal is to keep growing this business, but I've kind of taken a little detour, and I'm going to be trying other different things. But listen, I'm not giving up on this. So don't hang on with me here just for a second. So, is this monthly income great? Yes, this is great, and it's gonna keep scaling. I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting text messages. Here's a work phone. Let me look at it. Oh yeah, I actually do have. I don't want to show you the number. I actually do have a lead, but how passive is it? This week, I've sent a few emails. I've sent a few text messages. I have not. Let's see. I did one fix on Monday, and I have 2 more installs on Friday and 2 fixes on Friday. So I've worked Monday and Friday and a few messages here and there. Is it passive? No. Is it semi-passive? Yeah. At 150 customers, it's semi-passive. But there's still calls, there's still repairs, there's still payments, there's still moves, there's pickups, there's installs. But it can become more hands-off if you have certain systems in place, certain systems in place. So you can do this. It can be semi-passive for you. You got this, okay? So that's it. This video has been long enough. You guys are tired. We're gonna get you another video. If you want to learn about this business, like I'm talking about LLC, the S Corp business model, the insurance, the form that I have them fill out, the Facebook Marketplace, how to get sales, best ways sales that has worked for me. I do get on Zoom calls with people. I was doing it for a while, and then my wife was like, you got to charge for that because you're taking away my time with you. So anyways, I was like, okay, $100. That'll make her happy. She can buy her Starbucks. And then I can talk to you all. So $100. You send me an email. Email's in the description. Email's on my YouTube channel. Say, man, I want to get on a Zoom call. When can we do it? I'll give you a few times. You pick one. You send $100, and I'll get on that. We'll talk for an hour, and I'll tell you everything I know. I love y'all, and we'll see you in the next one.